Hi, I'm Sienna from Builder Kids, and today I'll be showing you how to replace an inner tube, because right now, if you can see how it's squishing, it's very squishy. Today we'll be using a new inner tube, because we're going to pop the tire off and put a new inner tube on. We're going to be using this thing,
It's a spoon. It's like a bike spoon or a tire spoon.
Yeah, and then I'll also be using this to tighten and loosen. Like these parts, there's also one on the other side.
Yep, you could use a wrench or a socket, depending on what you have. Or some bikes have a quick release, where you, like what you see right there on the seat, where you can just, right there, where you can just open it up and the whole wheel will come off, and then you can tighten it right back up with your hand.
And we also have this for if your inner tube just breaks and has a little hole, you could patch it up.
Yep, if you were out riding around on the trail or anywhere out and then you got a little puncture, maybe a little thorn or something, you could use a little patch kit like that. So you could use the same process we're going to do here, take the inner tube out, put a patch on it, stick it in and pump it right back up, assuming you have a pump with you on your bike. Yeah, you would normally have a smaller pump, but that's the one we have here in the garage. Okay, so we're going to take this out, we'll show you how that goes. Okay, so we just loosened, we use the socket here and the ratchet, and we loosened this nut up and the same one on the other side, and it came out. So now, whoop, forgot, we also need to take the brake off, or else you're never going to get it out. So we're going to take the brake, if I can wiggle the brake out. This would have been easier to do when the bike was the other direction. There we go. Now the V-brake is disengaged and we should be able to just take the wheel right out of here. Sometimes you gotta move the chain out of the way and the derailleur. There we go. It's out. I'm going to take this off so that's not in the way. And then we're going to get the spoon. I'm going to go with the smaller side. There's a fatter and a skinnier side. I'm going to try the smaller, skinnier side. We're going to get it under there and pull the tire up and start running this around. You can see the tire is behind the wheel there, and this pulls it out so it's in front of the wheel. So we're going to run that all the way around. And now it's open. So I'm going to find the beginning part of the inner tube and pull it out, and then we're just going to yank the tube out. And there we go, there's the old inner tube. So if we were on the trail and you ran something over, you could look for a puncture in it, or if you have any little bit of water, like in a water bottle or whatever, you could kind of run it over. You could pump. You could put a little air in it and run a little water over and see if you see any bubbles coming out of it. And if you see bubbles, you know that's where the hole is. Clean and dry that spot off and stick the patch over it and then put it back in. So for this one, I don't know where the puncture is. It just wasn't holding air. Oh, actually you can see it.
I have it zoomed in.
This one's actually torn right here. So that one's kind of bad. That's a pretty big hole. And you can see like the rubber's been stressed, so we're not going to use this inner tube. We're just going to put the new one on. So obviously you want to have the right size inner tube. These are 24-inch tires. This is a 24-inch inner tube. Some bikes, smaller ones might be a 20, or some big ones might be a 26. And then we're going to put it in. Can you see this? So we're going to find the hole in the wheel, and we're going to stick that right in it, and then we're just going to put the inner tube in. So I'm going to just tuck the inner tube all the way in, all the way around. Okay, inner tube's in. Now we're going to get the tire back on. If it's a really tight tire, like on a road bike, you might need to use this again. These types of tires, you should be able to just squeeze it, kind of work your way around both sides, You don't make sure you don't pinch the inner tube in there though, because you could damage the inner tube. So if you could see, the tire is all the way in except for this section. So I'm going to work it in with both sides. This one's a little tighter. We might need the spoon. Let's see if I can get it to just go over. Oh, there we go. It's over. I didn't even need the spoon. So now it's over. So now we should be able to just pump this thing up. Pull that out a little bit. It'll be good to go. I'm going to put it on the bike first, and then once it's on the bike, we're going to pump it up. So I'm going to just reverse the order of what we did. Make sure the chain is around it. We're going to line this back up in these grooves on the frame. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, my fingers are probably in the way. You can show them the other side. Just got to wiggle this one in. There we go. We're going to tighten those up. Tighten this one up. Okay. Now we're going to pump it up. After we do that, I'll put the brake back on and we'll be done. Let's pump it up, make sure it holds air. Okay, Siena's going to pump it up. All tires have pressure rating on the side. This one's probably between like 35 and 60. We're going to just take it up to about 40. That's usually pretty good. So this pump has a gauge on it. So when this needle rests at the 40 psi mark, that's when we know we're good to go. Siena's having a little struggle here. It usually gets tough around the 20 mark. Here, you want me to pump the rest before you break it?
Dancing helps be strong.
Okay, before you break it, let me do the rest. You got it pretty close. Play closer than your brother's got. Okay, we're at 40. There we go. There, you want to squeeze that and make sure does it feel pretty tight, like a normal tire? Yep.
Okay, squeeze it.
And then we'll put the brake back on and that's it. So, that's it.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell for more great Builder Kids videos.